Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted, you've been gifted with the evil voodoo. Got me coming back.
Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today from Hasbro, we are featuring the Baroness from the G.I. Joe Classified series line. We're going to be looking at this figure, the one I'm holding in hand. Alright, so some months ago when this figure first came out, I did spotlight it in a video, and I kind of compared it to the first release of the figure right here. The first release came with the Cobra coil, the deluxe box set that came with the motorcycle. And at the time, I didn't bother opening up this figure. You know, I think I just did a kind of like a side-by-side comparison because there is differences in the color schemes. This one has more gray on it, where this one's a little more, where this one is more black. They come with different weapons also, but you know, at this point in time, I kind of feel like I really want to open this one because my initial intent was to actually collect the first wave of these retro carded figures, which included also Lady J, Gung Ho, and Destro. But I've never seen these other two figures in the wild, and Lady J is just like sitting on the shelf at my Walmart. It's been there forever. No one's buying her. So seeing as how it might be that I'll never find these remaining two figures and have the entire set mint on card, I'm like, you know what, let's just open this one up. Because I wouldn't mind actually having this one loose, just because I do like this color scheme a lot. But before we open it, you know, just real quick, one last comparison. As you can see, there's some subtle differences in the paint. The one on the right, the first release, has the red belt buckle. Also around her abdomen, you'll notice that she has like applications of like a gloss black. And I think there's also some differences in the paint application on the biceps. Also, this one has different weapon accessories, like I mentioned earlier. You know, this one has the longer, like, I guess, sniper rifle, 2 pistols, and the glasses, and an additional assault rifle. This one here has 2 different assault rifles that are to be mounted on the motorcycle, and then she comes with this crazy like Cobra thing that you can like wrap around her forearm, and then she has like the Cobra headed knife, a helmet, which is actually a swappable head. It doesn't go over her actual head. And then much like Destro, she has gold pistols. So different accessories, slightly different paint application. And let's get started. So Baroness here comes on the retro card. You know, it's much like the older package design we got in the 80s. You know, you got the character as the main focus with the giant explosion behind them. It even has the retro Hasbro logo. Extended bubble. Kind of like it's almost like the old school file cards minus any important information. You know, there's just a tiny little blurb up here. You know, back in the day, the whole thing would be filled out with like a small biography, but that's not the case with these figures. 4 character checklist on the bottom. Like I said, these 2 for me are readily available right now at my local Walmart. These other 2, I'm not sure if they're online exclusives or if they're like, you know, also like retail exclusives, but I've never seen them. And let's get started and take out the Baroness. Alright, so she comes with a display stand, which is awesome, and it's nice too because this one has the Cobra emblem carved into it. Lady J has the G.I. Joe star, so it's kind of cool that they have different stands depending on which faction the character belongs to. It has 2 foot pegs, as you can see, which is nice. And then here is the Baroness, a beautiful looking figure. Like I pointed out, some of the major differences. This one has the black buckle. It's missing the gloss black paint on her abdomen. And I think there's some differences in the paint application on the arms. Here's her assault rifle. It's a very sci-fi kind of inspired design. It almost resembles slightly like the pulse rifle from the movie Aliens. She comes with this long, I'm assuming it's either a railgun or a sniper rifle. Also very science fiction in its design. This looks like something that you might find in the video game Borderlands. She comes with 2 pistols. Unlike the first release, these are black plastic. The first release, we got a pair of gold pistols. And lastly, we come to the one accessory I'm scared I'm going to lose. And that's her trademark eyeglasses. Let's get those out. So these are the accessories that I think I'd be most likely to lose. And if I remember correctly, I think the first release figure, I want to say I think the glasses might have been glued onto it. Because I remember I tried taking them off and I couldn't do that. So for this, you can see that like she has these notches on the temples of her head. And then you can just slide the glasses in. And it should fit alright. And like I said, I think for the first release, they might have been glued on. Because I remember not being able to take those off. And that really completes the look of the character. You know, she's known for having those glasses. Alright, let's look at her up close. Very, very beautiful sculpt, as you can see. The detailing on the body armor is really well done, especially around the emblem. The snake or the cobra emblem looks amazing. I love the contrast between the gloss black of the armor versus like the matte black of the under armor. There's even a gray on the bicep. Gray for the bodysuit around the abdomen area. And also parts of I think the thigh is also gray. She has knee-high boots painted in a gloss black with a nice sheen to it. Beautiful, really beautiful figure overall. She has 2 holsters so you can store her pistols, which is, I think, awesome. I love stuff like that. I really like it when you can store like all the accessories onto the body of the character. Let's get them both in. So as you can see, you can store both pistols in the holsters. Nice snug fit too. I don't think they're gonna fall out. So in terms of Baroness's articulation, her head rotates. Looks down. Does she look up? Not really. Her arms rotate. They go outward, but due to the armor piece here, it's going to collide with the upper part of the shoulder. She has a no bicep cut, but she does have a single pinned elbow that bends and then also swivels, which makes up for the loss of the bicep cut. She has a cut mid-torso beneath the breast line here, and it allows her to move like that. And does she does have a waist swivel right there. Her leg articulation is as follows. She kicks up, kicks outward, and then there's a thigh cut, double pinned knees, articulated ankles. And then for arms, we already talked about that. There's also wrist articulation. So overall, this is a very solid figure. As you'll remember, I think the first release, the one that came with the Cobra coiled motorcycle, I think that was a Target exclusive. I believe that was part of the Cobra Island series, and that was very hard to find. I remember initially, when it first came out, I'd go to eBay and I'd see it going for like crazy prices. I think the most I ever saw it go for, but I'm not sure if necessarily sold, was maybe like $180. That's how much one seller was selling it for. But at a certain point in time, I think the Cobra Coil with Baroness saw greater distribution. And I believe at some point you were able to get it through like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, and other online retailers. And I want to see it probably initially retailed for maybe $39 or $49, I think. But it's nice that we got the single carded figure. Since the first one was so hard to find, it's a much more affordable option. And the paint application and the differences, it's not too extreme. From a distance, you might even swear they're the same exact figure. The only thing different is either the addition or subtraction of certain parts of the paint on the body, and of course the different accessories. Which, if you have the Cobra Coil, you might want these accessories, so it'd probably be in your best interest to buy the carded version also. If you already had the one that came with a bike. And I just noticed this just now. She has a hole in her back. And I'm wondering if you could store the rifle on here, because her hair kind of gets in the way, but can you still plug this in? You can still plug this in, but you can't necessarily. The hair kind of does get in the way a little bit. Alright, so yeah, let's wrap this one up. Great figure. If I'd rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I don't know, probably 8.5 to a solid 9. Beautiful figure. She's part of the Cobra Higher Command, and I think you kind of need her, especially if you have Destro. The two are kind of like a pair. Alright, with that being said, let's wrap this up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So, until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. Alright, later.